So yeah, we are indeed sitting on plenty of just unprocessed runes. I can go turn these into whatever runes I want. So I know I'm short on wind runes, so I think I'm gonna probably make those first. But even then, still before that, I'm going to opt to empty out like some of my shulker boxes. Just put some of the contents of said boxes into some chests like so. First things first, maybe I should try and get these organized in some sense. Okay, I'm gonna probably just save the gold springs for later. I'll put these there. Oh, Fizz is high. So first things first, gonna get some shulkers emptied out. Because what I'm currently planning to do is just make a bunch of runes, and I want to give myself inventory space to actually just go and do all this. I'll probably keep this one full. Right, see, these are mostly just stabs I used exclusively for bossing. Same goes for the show staff. That was mainly just relegated to helping me fight certain bosses. Then I'm simply going to move a bunch of the lava over into this other chest here. Alright, so that I'm also just going to simply put away and not put back in the shulker box. Alright, so your half-brother. Half-brother, and you were talking about dimensions as in first, second, third, fourth, and how beings in each dimension perceive each other. Do you mind explaining? Because it sounds kind of vague at first glance. Do you mind maybe just explaining that a bit regarding dimensions? Right, so I've temporarily emptied out these shulker boxes. That way, I'm just going to have more space to actually put all the runes I'm about to make. Because I do plan to make quite a few runes. And I should have almost all of the rune shrines I want to go to just written down on this piece of paper. Should have all the coordinates written down. So I do know for a fact I have next to no wind runes left, so I'm going to need to gather some. And this is just simply in the overworld wind runes. So now I need to just go to the aforementioned coordinates that I have written down here. And I found them in like about 2 seconds. Alright, so I guess I can chat while I'm running to minus 377x, 955z. Which is quite a ways to run to. How third dimension beings. Are you talking about us? The third dimension beings can very easily manipulate first dimension objects. So I'm guessing we're like 3D people, right? Isn't third dimension beings. And I'm guessing like every anime character is a two-dimension being. Okay, maybe it would be nice to have Depth Strider on these boots, but If I can just more or less teleport around with the help of the Shire Staff to just really skip all the swimming, then it's not going to matter either way that much. Right, so there's some burning forest, okay. And a bomb carrier. Difficulty of manipulating them being how many directions can be manipulated. How did you even get into this conversation in the first place? Yeah, if we're talking about one dimension, that does make sense. There'd be like one variable about said object you can change, and no more. Probably getting close to the Wind Rune Shrine right about now. And then I could just make a couple runes. Forgot what started it. Yeah, I do wonder how you just suddenly have a conversation about something like that, because I'm kind of having a hard time following it. Okay, we just lagged for a second. We just froze. So in other words, like two variables to manipulate instead of just one, I see. Only need one Wind Rune Shrine. Only need one of these shrine blocks. Add 3D, you pretty much add, like, height, of course you do. So I'm gonna make some runes real quick. Gonna make... Okay, maybe, like... I'm trying to decide how many air runes I want to make. I think I'll make this many wind runes, perhaps. Right, I gotta turn these into actual blank rune form. Of course, I'm imagining I'm gonna get like pitiful amounts of experience, since these are like literally the lowest level rune you can make. So that's a decent amount of air runes, I think. So I could maybe still make more. I think I'm actually still gonna make a couple more stacks of wind runes. Maybe I'll just fill up the rest of the shulker box and then I'll stop making these. Yeah, I think this would just about fill up the whole box. And then I'll just make another type of rune later. Okay, I might keep this in the inventory just so I can like quickly wear it for a bit of an extra speed boost. Of course, I'll keep the goggles close by as well. What about the fourth dimension? What's that fourth variable we can't even fathom as beings of a lower dimension? He also thinks that in higher dimensions, laws of physics don't apply. Yeah, anything like 4 dimensions or past that point, like, I just don't exactly know where to begin when it comes trying to just visualize that. Alright, so I want to go north. So the best I could do for maybe trying to visualize a 4-dimension space would just be just to have like a long list of 3-dimensional spaces. So let's say there's like 4 variables in the 4-dimensional space, x, y, z, and w. So we would draw like a 3-dimension space with x, y, z, and then for every w, I would just draw like another 3D space. So let's say W0 would be in the first of the 3D spaces I'm picturing. And then, like, once you change W to 1, you just go to another 3D space. So yeah, best I can imagine 4D as being a list of 3D spaces, and even then, I don't know if that's, like, the best way to picture it. I gave you my best attempt at coming up with such a system. That was like my best theory I had. Just a series of 3-dimensional worlds. And you just transfer from one 3D world to the next if you tweak the value of W, which would be like the 4th dimension. It's really all I could come up with. Alright, so we should be getting back home soon at this point. Just using Shire Staff to really just cut down on how long it takes to just get to one place and back. Just using the hell out of this to really cut down on time spent running. Basing it off the 3D world, yeah. Yeah, like I'm trying to represent it like in terms of a 3D space in some way. In other words, representing in something that I actually do understand. So now I'm gonna put like all the wind runes away. I'm gonna get these just put away now, the wind runes. So, a bunch of them here. And then I might actually move a couple in my basement, but I'm probably gonna put at least half of them just up on the first floor. XY coordinate plane. Just having a series of those for the sake of 3D. Yeah, I do suppose that hypothesis would work as well. Alright, so that's my next stash of wind runes. When you jump through various Y positions, you're jumping through various one-dimensional spaces. I do suppose that may seem realistic too. I'd be more interested to maybe just draw this out like off stream. Just so I can really try and further understand what I'm actually saying. Or if I had a piece of paper. Like not... Yeah, I can just get a piece of paper out right now, actually. And try and just sketch this out to see what it would look like. Or better yet, what if I just did it in Microsoft Paint? So you can actually see what I'm about to just, like... screw it. I kind of want to just draw out my theory here. Don't know if I can call it mine if someone maybe also proposed this before me. And I probably also want to make sure the game is paused just to be safe. Whoops. No. Please. I'm trying to just get this on screen, please. Alright, so can I cover up the rest of... Can I just, like, make this bigger? Yeah, I kind of want to make this larger, so please bear with me. Yeah, just please bear with me on this one. And then I'll probably just close this. I don't even know if I'll save this. In the common 3D plane, isn't Y or Z the vertical axis? Typically Y is the vertical axis, and Z is going backwards or forwards. So I guess I'll just quickly draw out what I propose here for what a 4D space would look like. So that's just going like forwards or backwards. I'll just put a Z here. Up or down, I'll put a Y here. In some 3D representations, like these variables may be in different places on maybe like reassigned like different axes. So the X could be maybe be. Well, I think the Y could be here and the Z could be here for all we know in some representations. So a few of these values may be like interchanged with one another. Okay, can I turn caps lock off? So these are the variables, these are the dimensions I would just use to represent a 4D space. I'm actually going to shrink this down a bit. That'll have to do. So this still might look like not exactly the cleanest. It's going to look a little messy, I'll admit. Then again, I wonder how I would actually represent this with decimals. Would I maybe just need to create more of these pseudo 3D spaces? Right, so I'm just going to make up some various points in these spaces and try and represent them like so. And I'm going to use different colors to represent each of the points, by the way. And then I'll try and just plot these on these various graphs as you see. Oh, PK, hi. So physicists and I were talking about like multiple dimensions. He was talking about how laws of physics may not even apply in 4 dimensions and beyond. And he asked me, how can you possibly comprehend like what a 4-dimensional space looks like if we're 3-dimensional beings? Yeah, I really do feel like this deserves an explanation, and I don't know if I'm going to be the guy to give like a good explanation, since I mainly did this Minecraft stream to play Minecraft and not just really theorize about dimensional spaces. So this is my best hypothesis for just representing a 4-dimensional space and something you could actually see, something more tangible. Gravity might not even exist in a 4D universe. We'll put that as 0. Okay, I'm gonna make like one more point. Darker color. Wouldn't that be a black hole? I mean, I think this is pretty much anyone's guess at this point. I know I can just, I guess, throw out whatever theories they want. Our basic understanding of direction wouldn't even apply to 4D. Yeah, like, I just wouldn't exactly know, like, what else to make of it besides just trying to simply represent 4D as a series of 3D spaces. Because this is something I can actually just picture in my head and put down on paper. Or in this case, like on a virtual screen. Okay, let's actually make this a 2 instead of a 1. Einstein wouldn't even be able to just like explain like how a fourth dimension would like be representable in like a visual sense. You think Einstein would have been stumped by this? Trying to just like cleanly represent four dimensions in a visual sense. I don't know. Where would that even be? Honestly beats me. Okay, I'm just going to get myself like a bigger brush than this. So we gotta go like 8 units on the x-axis, so I guess we'll say, I don't know, about here. 2 on the y-axis, so about like a quarter of the way up. So not there, and then we gotta go like roughly here, I guess? We gotta go like 4 units forward on the z-axis, so I'm plotting a point here. And this is like one of my 3-dimensional spaces. I'm also going to plot this point as well, so the debut for the blue point is going to be 1, so instead of actually plotting the blue point in this space, I'm going to plot it in this 3D space. We don't move on the x-axis, we move up 3 on the y-axis, and forward on the z-axis 6 units. And then I would put the blue point in this dimensional space. Alright, so W is 0, so I go back to this 3D space. And then I just plot my point. I'm not trying to just make sure that I've plotted these perfectly with respect to X, Y, and Z. This is just like a really rough like representation of what it would look like. And then W for the yellow point would be 2, so I would actually put the yellow point in this 3D space. Not this one, not this one, this one. So 3 on the x-axis, up 3 units for y, and then forward 4 units. I guess roughly around here. I'll just put it there. Then maybe just try and at least draw this out in some way, shape, or form. So yeah, 3, 3, and 4? Then again, would we even be able to perceive a 4D object? Again, I wish I could actually explain this. But the best I can do is just simply represent this in relation to 3D spaces, which we already know how to represent. Maybe 4D is real, but we can only see a 3D version of it. Why do I feel like this is gonna have to be its own separate clip? Because I'm starting to think this really has nothing to do with Minecraft anymore. It's really gonna be its own little thing. Okay, I think you get the point. I guess I'm still gonna save this anyways. Yeah, that was the best explanation I could give. That's the best I can come up with. I don't know how much time I might have spent just going on about what may or may not be like a suitable representation of 4D, but you know what, screw it, I had to try. Definitely wanted to try and at least put that in some sort of visual representation. Literally a series of 3D spaces where you change the value of W. You just simply put the point in a different 3D space. And I'm thinking maybe for 5 dimensions, instead of having maybe a row of 3D spaces, you'd have a row and like columns. A row columns of 3D spaces, so you'd have like a sort of grid, and then like the grid cells would each have like their own 3D space. I'm thinking for 6 dimensions, I'm looking at a cube of 3D spaces. I'm not even going to bother drawing those. Just picture like a grid of some sort, and then each cell of the grid has like a 3D space for 5D. I tried. I honestly did try. And now I'm just going to make more runes. I'll take the rest of these runium chunks with me. Now I'm going to decide where I want to go next to make more runes. I should probably restock on distortion runes. I could eventually run out. I'm doing... Okay, I feel like I can maybe also use some more storm runes as well. If I really want to just go wide with that concussion staff, and maybe even before that, just should restock on power runes. I'd probably be like a little bit wiser just restock on power runes first. And then again, I tend to use distortion runes way more often, so I'll actually just go with the distortion runes first, restock on those. Yeah, and there isn't anything wrong with that. Just so I can encase myself in a glass barrier so the hostile Mysterium mobs won't be able to really attack me while I just make distortion runes. So I'm going to look at my notes again for where distortion runes were. Okay, minus 595x, minus 407z. So I have coordinates. I'm just going to face the right direction, and then just head straight towards those. I mean, I've probably just said my age numerous times on stream, so I wouldn't mind at this point. 25, yet you think I sound 17. Right, so I'll worry about Pixons later. I just want to make some distortion runes. So I'm almost there on the Z-axis. I've never heard anyone call me that before. I feel like I really do need to explain a few things. Yeah, that's Super Mario World, by the way. These are old retro video games we're talking about right now. And Super Mario World is definitely one of my favorite old school video games. Specifically released in 1990, 1991. I'm probably very close to that distortion rune shrine now. In fact, I actually see it. Okay, so there are already some blocks here that will probably just stop hostile mobs from getting in here. I'm gonna just actually put a bit of glass on top. That will really just stop anything from getting in here trying to attack me while I make runes. I don't think anything should be getting in here. Nothing gets in or out until I break one of these. Or just teleport out, but yeah. Alright, just to get more experience whilst making the runes. Yeah, I don't need to really see clearly if I'm not in any danger of getting killed, most likely. Don't need to see any danger of just, like, getting killed because I've boxed myself in, like, perfectly. Well, I need to also just start, like, putting these runes somewhere. Alright, so now we're going to see some experience coming in. Now that I'm making a much higher tier rune than Wind. Now quite a bit of experience is coming in if still really want to focus on just maxing out Runation. Okay, so this shulker is almost full of distortion runes. What do these runes do specifically? They're used to use certain staffs. For example, this one uses distortion runes to apply its effect. So you need some distortion runes to use this one, for example. Yeah, there's some people who really do probably want to play this for the sake of completion. I mean, it really depends what you want to get out of it, honestly, at this point. Because the mod has, like, quite a bit of content. And I've just done so well with this playthrough that I can't even think of anything better to do. That's just how well the playthrough's gone. Best I can think of now is just to keep on playing and see how far things go, and if I die, then just I'd honestly at least be somewhat curious as to what crazy happening could kill me if I do die. So this is full of distortion runes. Just gonna break that, and then just simply head back home. So yeah, I'd have to go southeast. Right now I need to just simply focus on going exclusively east at this point. Pretty much have, like, the Z-axis good. Got my coordinates on the Z-axis good for just getting to my exit portal. What could actually kill me? That's actually a good question. Though I do suppose I could recite, like, some of the deaths I suffered in previous attempts on Ascension Hardcore. Well, I'll go over a bunch of the ones for 3.3 first, then maybe just try and recall, like, some of the earlier deaths. So, 3.3 Hardcore attempt number 1, I was in Salib, which is a void dimension, so these are islands hanging above the void. And if you're not careful, you can fall off one of those islands into the void and just simply die from falling out of the world. And this was pretty early in my playthrough where I didn't have all this gear to make, like, escaping, like, a void-related death that easy. I mean, I was trying to get myself a gravitator which slows, like, greatly slows down how fast you fall. And I don't even think I had Rosadons at that point. I don't know if I did. So this was early in my playthrough, fairly early. Looking at an island I want to jump to next. I make a jump and land pretty close. I land on the edge of an island, so very close to, like, falling off the void. But I didn't look hard enough because there was a hostile mob right there as soon as I landed, and then just a couple hits and knocked me off in the void, and that killed me. Like, the mob itself wasn't able to do, like, lethal damage. It's the fall into the void that got me there. Then there was attempt number 2. There are 2 dimensions in this mob that have fixed generation. You can't place any blocks there, and you can't break the blocks there either. What mob was it? I don't know if I'm going to be able to run at that specific mob. Well, this happened in Salif, so it's a clown of some sort. Specifically the yellow clown, in case anyone was wondering. No, not that one. It was like one of the clowns in this dimension that just knocked me off the ledge. I mean, it could have been anything that just hits, like, period. Like, anything that hits you applies knockback, so it could have just as well been anything. So yeah, one of these guys, specifically a yellow one. What mob was it? I'm probably gonna find every other clown, right? Aside from the one that actually killed me. This guy. This yellow guy here. Surprisingly not that frustrated, because it wasn't that far into the hardcore playthrough. I didn't even have a gravitator at that point. Barely had any of the dimensions unlocked at that point. Might not have even had Rosedons. Honestly, like, hardcore attempt number 2, 3.3, that was honestly way worse. Not just due to the fact that that was pretty far into playthrough, so I think it might have been about, like, I'd have to double check. Well, maybe it depends on how I die, who knows. I'm actually gonna go through, like, a list of my live streams quickly, so bear with me on this. And I guess I'm just gonna pause the game while I do that. I guess I can always just pull up the clip of me actually dying, too. In fact, maybe I'm just going to be better off showing off the actual clip of me dying on attempt number 2. Because I did actually clip this. Yeah, I did clip it. 30-second long clip, but yeah, I did clip this. And yes, this happened in one of the dimensions with fixed generation. Imagine I die to a baby zombie. Even worse still if it's wearing full enchanted gold armor. Right, so I'm gonna get this on screen quickly. So I gotta do another window capture, just to get this video on screen. And then preferably make this a bit bigger too, so like more of the screen's covered up. Yeah, this one's it. Yeah, as soon as I can go, I'll just go. Yes, I have a tier 4 sword, by the way, so I got far, in case you're wondering. And I still died anyways. Shit. Something happened. Something just happened there. What was that? Yeah, in case you're wondering. I threw that ender pearl in such a way that I actually ended up clipping out of bounds in a dimension with fixed generation where you're not supposed to be able to do that. So picture a wall and a ceiling. Picture a wall and a ceiling intersecting one another. I throw the ender pearl right in between where the wall and the ceiling meet. And that's pretty much how I just clipped through that corner. And then ended up falling out of the world in Immortalis of all dimensions. Yeah, I was trying to pearl to an above ledge to skip having to climb ladders. I honestly don't think I'm going to be so eager to use ender pearls there in the future. Same goes for Ancient Cavern, because if you're not careful, you can maybe no-clip yourself out of that too. So that's, like, death number 2. There was also one death where I died within, like, the first 3 minutes of creating my world to an Urka. This being a random overworld mob that spawns in taiga biomes on the overworld that inflicts slowness when it hits you, so you do not want to run into this when you first start up a new world and have, like, nothing. Then there was also a death that I took to a trickster, this being an underground mob in the overworld. Specifically, can do quite a bit of explosive damage, and if your armor is not the best, then could pose a threat very early in the game. Yep, one of my attempts did not even last 3 minutes. I really couldn't stay mad at that one because it was only 3 minutes down the drain. Plus whatever time I might have spent waiting for the actual world to generate. So, like, maybe, like, a good fraction of the time spent on that world was simply waiting for the world to be created. Like, my actual playthrough barely lasted longer than, like, the time I spent waiting for the actual world to get created. Like, it was that bad. And I think the Trickster death was after that one. I look back on that and I laughed too. Dying another 3 minutes. I remembered attempt number 4, I think it was? I remembered trying to just challenge some amphibiites in the amphibiite cove. I suppose I'm going to just... Okay. Just so you know what I'm talking about. Alright, so these guys killed me on one of my hardcore attempts. I want to train Hunter on them, killing them to get to 17 Hunter, except I did not have a good approach at all. So I made a hole, like, almost straight down into the amphibiite cove, so in other words, the dungeon where they spawn. And I gave them plenty of time to just spawn in an absolutely ridiculously large number. And I didn't have any good tools on hand to dig myself a way out of the little hole I made myself, so I just pretty much died in the corner because there were too many amphibiites to fight off. So I died to a large swarm of a certain enemy because I dug myself in a hole and didn't exactly have a good means of getting out. That or just didn't think about getting out till it was too late. Okay, I probably clipped, like, how I did attempt number 5 too. I'm gonna actually probably pull that up too because, yeah. And in case you're wondering, I'll give you another hint while I get it up on screen. It also has to do with ender pearls, technically. I think this is when T-Slap told me to stop using ender pearls so frequently because I seem to have a habit of getting myself killed with them when I misuse them. Yep, I got it clipped too. Hardcore death fell from a high place, question mark. And I gotta just get this on screen too, so excuse me. Yeah, fell from a high place. Whoops, make this bigger. Alright, a bit bigger than that. Yeah, this is just more like a clip show at this point. This is starting to really turn into a clip show more than one of my live streams. I hate to admit it, but I don't mind making a clip show out of this. I do something I honestly should not have done. Rosedons, where are you? Quickly now, Rosedons, eat these. Oh, shit! No! God damn it! I was not supposed to do that! Oh, I'm still supposed to put those in the offhand! Oh, no way! What? I didn't have the Rosedons in the offhand, so I actually took lethal fall damage. So... do I need to explain what happened or no? Do I need to really just rewind this and play it again? So, the item I typically eat to just teleport to the surface block above me, I typically hold that in the offhand, so I can hold the gravitator in the main hand while I fall slowly, but instead, I was actually picking up fall damage while I was falling.
Are you?
And when you eat Rosinons, just teleport to the nearest service block above you.
Eat these.
Fall damage doesn't reset. So it looked like I was in no way going to fall from a high place in a situation like this, but underneath the island, I was falling and that fall damage didn't get, like, cancelled out or nixed or anything. Like, that still carried over, even after the teleportation. And then as soon as I touched the ground, which is literally, like, a couple inches below me, I die.
Shit! No!
Yeah, if I took my time to swap the things, I just noticed that, yeah, I'm not gonna make that mistake again either, because, yeah, why would I want to do that again? Okay, I think I'd rather just get back to getting more things done. Yeah, I've only made, like, Wind Runes and Distortion Runes so far this stream, and I think I've been live for about, like, almost 45 minutes. Went over quite a few of my hardcore deaths. Specifically, like, Advent of Ascension version 3.3's hardcore deaths. Yeah, so the 5 failed attempts, I briefly explained 3 of them, and actually had clips of 2 of them I just showed people. And, like, both the clips had, like, an Ender Pearl, like, related to the deaths somehow. Yeah, we were talking about, like, the theory of 4 dimensions, and then just looking at old Minecraft clips. Where I just take some really unfortunate deaths, yeah. And pretty much what PK did say. Pretty much what PK said at this point. Right, so I'm gonna probably also I'll make the Storm Runes now. Power Runes a bit later. But yeah, I do want more Power Runes. I think I'll do Storm Runes first. So I'm gonna just go to Grekon for the sake of the Storm Runes. Because that's where I make them. Now I gotta just look at my notes again. Where does it say Storm Runes? Yeah, I got my notes out. I think I need to look at the other side. Storm Runes. X240, Z minus 635. So northeast. We're due northeast. Are you talking about lollipops or something else? Okay, she's mad at you because she has more. I assume lollipops, right? Okay, it would be understandable if she was mad at you because she had more debt, but more lollipops? More debt or more taxes, that would be understandable at least. Or maybe, like, more weight. But lollipops? I'm sorry. Right, so I have the Z coordinate almost matched. Okay, I guess that does make sense when you really put it into that perspective. Clearly she's just figuring things out. Like, at those ages, you're still, like, really just figuring things out. Like, you're really just learning, like, how the world works at that age. So I guess I can't be too hard on your 3-year-old sister then. I'm just gonna make these storm runes and just leave. Not exactly preoccupied with the thought of maxing out Runation just yet. That can always just come later. Getting mad at you because she has, like, I don't know, like, two lollipops and you have one, and she knows how to play Minecraft. For a 3-year-old, how would you, like, rate their, like, Minecraft skills on a scale out of 1 to 10 for a 3-year-old? Okay, I know I'm asking some pretty weird questions at this point. Alright, so now I gotta get myself back south at this point to just leave Grekon. Pretty good skills for a 3-year-old, not gonna lie. Has she beaten the Ender Dragon? Well, for someone who's 3, I would actually have to admit that that's pretty impressive. For someone much older, I wouldn't be impressed at all, but for someone who's 3, that sounds more impressive. I mean, 3 years old and already getting some of your priorities straight. Yeah, that definitely is impressive. Okay, I've almost matched the Z coordinate, now I gotta match the X coordinate for my portal to return home. Alright, so I'm almost out of energy runes, I'm gonna want to pick up more. I feel like the story literally just keeps on giving. Haven't we all at least died to a skeleton once playing Minecraft? Maybe, like, long ago I could have seen myself totally dying to one from behind. Yeah, because come on, we're talking about skeletons here. If you don't have good armor, these guys can easily just, like, pick you apart. Even more recently, I do have, like, very recent memories of getting blown to bits by creepers. I mean, I have more fond memories of getting blown to bits by creepers. I think, like, even earlier this year it happened a couple times. So yeah, somewhere around here there's gotta be my exit portal. And I already see it. Okay, let's get out of here. She doesn't go mining or or make armor. She only explores for villages and kills the villagers. You're not gonna get anywhere doing that with wooden items. Well, I don't even think it matters too much what you use because they don't fight back. If we're talking about older versions of Minecraft, like, you're not going to see iron golems protecting them by default either. So they're really not going to have any means of fighting back. So you can just kill them with whatever, and there's going to be, like, no challenge in doing so because they don't fight back. Then comes 1.4, and once you've killed enough villagers, eventually the iron golem in the village just becomes hostile towards you, and that would probably one-shot her if she doesn't have armor. I think I need to give her a break, she's 3. Yeah, I'm trying to picture this now and I don't even know if I want to. Yeah, but like some of those guys can have loose, useful trades, and like, what would they ever do to you, anyways? Not just the fact some of them have good trades. Right, so power runes, Barathos. Because I had even fewer power runes than I did storm runes before. So that's good. Yeah, this might have been like the little bit of power runes that I had left, plus I think about like... Yeah, also this stack of power runes. So I had like little over 6 stacks left. I definitely want more than that. So search my notes quickly for power runes. Where are they? Should have maybe looked at the notes. And then stepped in the portal. Portal Tower, that's not it. Energy runes, lunar runes, not what I'm looking for. Life runes. This is not organized at all. Alright, I'm gonna try the first side again. Yeah, this is awkward. Compass runes. Did I not actually take this down? I must have like kinetic runes down here somewhere, but that's not what I'm looking for. I have water runes, wither runes, energy runes, lunar runes, compass runes. I have my home coordinates. Unless there's like a rune shrine right around here that I can just see. No, it doesn't look like there's one immediately in my vicinity. Might have to just simply look for one of these shrines. Oh wow. Okay, one more time. So Desert Savannah, Amphibiides, Home, Obsidian. Just gonna read off all my coordinates. Wind Runes, Ocean Monument, Jungle, Barren Castle, Hive Nest, Deep Lancelotto. Then I'll read off the rest of them. Hive Nest, Deep Lancelotto, Alicia, Toy Merchant. Nah, I don't think this is gonna work. Probably better off just looking myself for power runes. Because I don't seem to have actually taken any notes on where one of these actually are. Yeah, I didn't even write this down. Are you kidding me? It doesn't look like I wrote it down, so... I'm just gonna go look for the nearest power rune shrine. Just pick a direction and start exploring. And hope for the best. So that's about the best I can do at this point. Wait, do we really need this many creation masters walking around? Alright then, see you later. Maybe, like, I don't know, maybe tomorrow or the day after I'll get to hear more crazy stories about your sister. And, like, that closet full of dead villagers she has. Yeah, like, that was an interesting story. So yeah, Anna, I'm pretty much looking for a power rune shrine now. I would go to the one listed in my notes if I actually remembered to write one down. So I have a sheet full of coordinates, and this is just various locations across various dimensions, so I would know exactly where to go if I need to return to some important location later on in my playthrough. Except I don't have, like, anything written down as to where a power rune shrine in this dimension is. So I'm just gonna go looking myself for one. How am I today? Certainly doing alright. Had a pretty productive day regarding schoolwork. Like, one of my courses, I'm feeling really confident about my last assignment. And I literally did just start it today, but I'm feeling confident about like getting it done and getting it done decently well. I mean, it's a topic I actually remembered covering in an earlier assignment, and of course I had to just analyze that topic closely to really understand what I was actually doing. Yeah, specifically I was doing like an assignment related to machine learning, which actually covers a topic I covered earlier in said course. Just slightly different application, but like same algorithm, same logic behind it. Which I did manage to understand somewhat clearly. So it's like something I've done already earlier in that course. Okay, next time I find a power rune shrine, I'm actually writing down coordinates for where it is. Yeah, so I do hope I see one soon and don't just look like an ass, just running around randomly finding nothing. Yeah, I'm hoping I don't just like really embarrass myself too badly. I didn't actually take notice of where a power rune shrine was earlier, so I'm having to just look for one randomly. Hoping I find one sooner rather than later. Yeah, this time as soon as I find it, I'm writing down coordinates. Especially if it's close to my portal that will just let me leave this dimension, then I'm definitely writing down coordinates. Yep, so I forgot to actually write down like the location of a power rune shrine in this world, so I have to go find another one myself. Probably would have likely made the runes and just gotten back out of Barathos by now, if I actually knew where I was supposed to be going. Instead I have to just find one of these. Because I'm pretty sure I wouldn't remember this without actually having it written down. I mean, I hadn't played on this world in quite a while, so I wouldn't remember like exact coordinates unless they were written down on paper. Or just written down in some capacity. I mean, paper is pretty straightforward and simple. Barren Castle. This doesn't exactly help me at the moment. Two barren castles right next to each other. This doesn't exactly help me though. I'm looking for power runes. Yeah, this is awkward because that wasn't what I was looking for. Also saw a couple of Hive King nests and a Baroness Arena, but no power rune shrine yet. Yep, still actually playing. Currently just making runes. That I could maybe try some boss fights with said runes, perhaps. I mean, I'm considering maybe just fighting the skeletal army again, because that's certainly one of the more interesting boss fights this mod has to offer. And obviously one of the scarier ones, too. especially like in some of the later waves. Okay, let's just add another structure to the list of structures I've seen already that aren't the ones I'm looking for. That's literally just where I would go and exchange lotto tokens. I didn't even bring any on me, so what's the point? Okay, so I'm gonna find a rare mob. On top of that, on top of everything else I've seen, I'm gonna find a rare mob, but still no power enshrine. Okay, well, I might be actually at this for a while, for all we know. Could take some time to actually find one of these. Yeah, preferably can I just find one not too far away from where my portal is. Just so I don't have to run, like, too far out just to go make more power runes in the future. Well, there it is. Guess I could settle for this one. It is gonna get the job done. Might be a little far out, but it's getting the job done, so I guess I'll settle for it. Alright, so just put me straight up there. Yeah, just so I can get an experience boost, I'll put this back on. Extra loot I'm just gonna put away so I have more space to actually just handle the runes themselves, you know. I think I might... Yeah, I have this guy following me, so I'm gonna pick him off quickly. I thought I could maybe just simply block myself off with glass if I don't want to fight them. I'm gonna make a little sort of glass corner here, perhaps, with a glass ceiling. Alright, so I'm not gonna get jumped from behind. They can't jump me from behind if I do that. Oh, there's another Runation level, I'll take it. Can't get jumped from behind like this. Probably gonna actually make, like, a bit more than a full shulker box worth of power runes. Guess we'll also make that. Oh, 80 runation, I'll take it. I don't see why not. And then I'll just put my actual, like, better armor back on. Put the Utopian stuff into the box here. Utopian goes back in the shulker. These back in the hotbar. Power runes and power runes. The rest of my stuff. And writing this down before I leave. I don't care if this is kind of far out. I don't care if this is a little far out from my portal that leads back to the overworld. I at least want to know, like, where I'm going to be going in the future to make more power runes. Yep, so I definitely have everything. Alright, so how many of you want me to go and fight the skeletal army again this stream? I mean, I gathered myself some decent supplies to just go and do another skeletal army fight. Aside from my helmet, my armor's in good shape, so... Aside from maybe the helmet breaking apart, and maybe Skeletron possibly hitting me if I'm not paying attention. I mean, there's a good chance, like, I'm not in too much danger fighting skeletal army. Worst case scenario, I can always just simply bail on the fight. Lose a bunch of my progress, but it's better than simply outright dying at this point. Especially at this point. I would have to travel pretty far out east to the nearest skeletal arena to do the fight, though. Yeah, I did have to go like a little over 1,000 blocks east to find one of these arenas, so... would have to just take some time to quickly run out there to do the fight. Right. This may take some time. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna be breaking a hole instead of just teleporting on top of that and breaking a hole through it. Yeah, I do suppose I'm getting pretty close to my portal that lets me leave. Okay, this speed boost is gonna get me closer. Yeah, so right around here, you should see the exit portal. Yep, there it is. There's the portal to leave. So now I have power runes to just put away. Well, I guess I can fit them in here. They should fit here. Then maybe some extras can go in the basement, but I'm probably going to put most of them up here for now anyways. Okay, maybe the rest can go in the basement for now. Yeah, like a couple stacks will go in my basement. So that's empty. I'll just refill out these shulker boxes with what they had before. I emptied them out for the sake of the runes. Yeah, let me just fill these back up with what they had before I emptied them out. Okay, do that. So these are now refilled. I guess I'll put these here because why not? So I do want to decide exactly what I'm going to be bringing to the skeletal army fight. I guess I'm actually going to do one this stream. I'm only going to do one though. That's my one last piece of repair dust. But I'm going to use it anyways. It's my last piece of repair dust right there. So, gonna be like virtually no point in bringing an iron miner to the skeletal army, since they're literally dealing with swarms of hostile mobs as opposed to just fighting like one single boss. Well, it's basically what most of it boils down to, so literally just no point in bringing the iron miner to the fight. I'm gonna make myself a good amount of bullets because I'm probably gonna use a gun. Can just run around, strafe around like some of the hostile mobs that shoot projectiles, and then just shoot my own projectiles back. So I'm probably going to be doing quite a bit of strafing to just deal with all these skeleton men, I can imagine. So I'm going to get some bullets ready, and just pull out my heat wave wherever I left it. Then just pull this out. And I'll have to decide exactly how many bullets I'm taking. I'm going to take 8 stacks of bullets, and hopefully I won't need more. Okay, I'm definitely taking more energy runes out. I'll take 2 stacks of the runes. Then another stack of kinetic runes I'll take as well. I'm gonna put my runium chunks away. I don't need those at all during the fight. Putting those away for sure before we do the fight. Sword, probably a great blade as well. Probably gonna put pickaxes away most likely. Concussion staff I'm definitely taking out. Notch apples in case it gets really bad the fight. Caillou staff for sure has to be in the hotbar. Probably also I think I'll also take a gravitator. Maybe I'll just hold off on really using the bow that much. I'll probably just opt to use the gun. Or can maybe at least keep these in the inventory in case I run out of bullets and need to fall back on the bow. Not quite sure why I'm carrying this in a shulker still. Also gonna pull the show staff out for later in the fight. Then I have to take Storm and Power Runes to use Concussion Staff, for I'm just, like, literally, like, there's no point if I don't do that. There's actually literally no point if I just forget to do that, to forget to bring Power and Storm Runes. Alright, so some stacks will go into the shulker box. Then I'll put like 3 stacks of each in the shulker and then 2 of each into the inventory. So these into the shulker and then like these in the inventory. Then I'm gonna take my shulker back and just go to Percasia and get this show on the road. I know I'm probably not gonna die most likely. I do know what I'm doing. So Heat Wave. Well, I also do kind of have to sort out this. I guess this can go in the offhand. Should try and get the hotbar sorted out. Shire's gonna go there. Heat Wave, I guess, will go next to the other ranged weapon. Just trying to find like a good setup for my hotbar here. Maybe something like that'll do, who knows. I guess something like this for my hotbar, perhaps. Yeah, trying to just decide on something I'm gonna like. Yeah, I think this will be it for my hotbar. Then I gotta just run east a bunch before we can start the fight. Matching the Z coordinate won't take too long. It's matching the X coordinate that's gonna take more time. So I gotta run to specifically X1129 Z70 right now if I want to do this fight. If I really am serious about doing this again, I have to run to those coordinates. Alright, that's a Pterodon. I am not interested in fighting that right now. Just straight up not interested in fighting it. Yeah, Skeletal Army, I do want to see how this is going to play out for my second go. Well, actually third, because I did like also do one Skeletal Army fight where I saw Skeletron spawn. Well, I knew he spawned but didn't know where, so I panicked, and I didn't realize that running like just 10 blocks away from him would make him despawn. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened anyways. And then, like, second go, I actually did the entire Skeletal Army fight again, like, all 40 waves, but this time I actually killed Skeletron. Yeah, I just wanted to be certain I wasn't going to run into Skeletron by accident, because, yeah, Skeletron has, like, the highest damage output of anything in the mod. Yeah, it even, like, outperforms Crore when it just comes to dealing out raw damage. Another Pterodon. Guess we're also gonna run past the Kaya Temple, because why the hell not? Wait, why can't I use this? Oh, probably because there's no, like, hostile mobs nearby. That's probably why I wasn't doing anything. I mean, I have the runes and all, so if there's anything nearby, I should be able to use it. Yeah, just to verify that works. Just to make sure I can use it. So that's just going to help me build up large amounts of damage on large groups of mobs. And it's literally going to be spammable too, so that's going to make it even better. So I should be eventually hitting this arena. I mean, I'll see this arena sooner or later. So I've almost matched both the X and Z coordinates at this point. So I'll see it in like no time. Yeah, it should be right in front of me at this point. I should be able to just roughly make out the arena at this point. Yep, now I definitely see it. That looks like it for sure. Yep, that's our arena. Yeah, I did supersize it because I wanted to get my spell cell space to actually maneuver around the arena. I had a good reason for supersizing it, by the way. Because it can actually get, like, that filled up with enemies. Just to get that out of the equation. Yeah, so I do want to see how this is going to go exactly. Of course, this first wave's easy enough. Yeah, the early waves are just, like, piss easy at this point. It's, like, really that last, like, 10% of the skeletal army fight that's the problem. Maybe even last 5 to 7% that's going to be a problem. The rest of it won't be an issue whatsoever. Yeah, I can easily still just run around and kill everything with my sword, no problem. Like, it's literally not going to be a concern for a while. Until, like, enough elite mobs start spawning. It's literally going to be no concern. Might as well just get rid of some of these extra mobs while we're at it. Okay, I should just stick to my sword. And then save the bullets for when I feel like I'm gonna need them more. Should save those bullets for when I actually need them. And for now, just stick to, like, the sword. It's not gonna cost any ammo to use. Yeah, these early waves are still, like, easy enough. Now I think I'm gonna see some slightly stronger enemies coming in. Right, stronger Skeleman. Yeah, eventually just running into everything and just killing with the sword is no longer going to be a viable option. Eventually it's just going to get, like, too out of control for that to be viable. There we go. And more often than not, these guys also end up fighting each other. Pretty often, these guys fight each other by accident. Just takes one skeleton accidentally shooting one of the other skeletons in this whole skeletal army for like a fight between like the members of the army itself to just try and kill each other. Kind of like so. Let me just get some health back and then just continue to take these guys down. There we go. Okay, now I think I'm starting to see some elite mobs at this point. Eventually we're going to see like large amounts of elite skeleton and then we'll actually have a real problem on our hands. Then eventually it's going to become problematic. Especially since the Skelly Elders never get any stronger, but like the rest of the like skeletons that spawn in are gonna get stronger, so it'll become more likely later in the whole fight for the Skelly Elder to accidentally die to some other enemy that's also like part of the skeletal army. Because when this dies, the next wave starts immediately. Even if like most of the enemies from the previous wave are still alive, so you could just get like 2-3 waves trying to kill you all at once because the Skelly Elder keeps dying in the crossfire from elite skeleton shooting each other. And this gets hit, then they fight, with the elite skeleton often surviving and the Skelly Elder dying, simply due to the virtue of these having range attack and more health. Yeah, especially in later waves, it's really easy to just lose control of the fight, like, completely. That's why I made this little corner where I can kind of just hide out if it really gets bad. So yep, skeleton always a top priority for killing. No matter what the case may be, you always have to just prioritize taking these guys out. Everything else, like, worst you can do is just melee you. Skeleton actually have, like, a projectile attack. Especially, they're even worse in large numbers, too. Yeah, now we're getting quite a few guys here trying to kill me. Yeah, now it's getting a little more interesting at this point. Alright, next wave's gonna start without me actually killing the Skelly Elder in the first place. Gonna start next wave early, I see. Guess I'll just do some fighting in the corner here. Or at least try to. That's not gonna be that easy. It's not even gonna be that easy to do fighting in the corner. Let's heal up and then get back to shooting. If I can even shoot, but these guys are right in my face. Not letting me even do that. Hence why I'm just gonna hug the walls of this arena. Just stay even further from all this madness if I can. Just seeing how my helmet's doing. Figure it would be important to know this. Alright, got him. And him too. It's getting a little more manageable at this point, at least. Getting a bit more control of the situation here, good to know. Seeing if there's anything else running around. And then I'll just finish off the Skelly Elder to start the next wave once everything else is cleared out. I'll heal up and then start the next wave. Alright, not even a single Skeleman in here. So this is all just melee mobs. Nowhere near as problematic if it's all just melee mobs. Okay, more melee mobs again. These guys jump. Yeah, it's all melee mobs here too. Alright, can I just get these two guys as well, please? Just get them out of the way. We'll just get this out of the way, too. I'm still doing really good for runes, so that's not going to be a problem. I guess I'll put that in the hotbar. Okay, now it's gonna get problematic again with more Skelemen running amok. Now it's gonna get scarier. So just gonna strafe around and fire with the gun. Just get as much damage off as possible. Yeah, thankfully they're not moving or staying still, so I need to just keep on strafing around them. I should be fine. I can just strafe and be okay. Most likely. Right, back to just killing the Skelemen, ideally. Guess a few of them are still alive. Okay, it looks like I got them all. Okay, I got the whole group. Alright, looks like more melee mobs exclusively. Just to be safe, I'm gonna clear these guys out too. Just finish them off like that, I guess. Yeah, it looks like the rest of these guys are gone, so... Alright, lay it on me. Right, not even any Skelemen here either, so that's okay. I'm fine with that, no Skelemen. Just more Skelehoppers. The guys that jump specifically. more jumping guys, that's about it right now. That really should help me just take out the rest of them. Let me just get rid of this guy too. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this wave. Start the next one. Oh no. I was dreading the rest of this. Yeah, here we go, more Skelemen. I was definitely not looking forward to that. Okay, more guys just spawned in. This I was definitely not looking forward to. This is not going to be easy. Okay, I gotta Kaya staff quickly now before it's too late. Just gonna go hog wild with my concussion staff and hope that works. It's about the best I can do at this point. Just too much going on here for me to really try anything else. Can't try much else at this point. I really can't do anything at this point besides just this. Stay back. I'm gonna try and get myself a corner to hide in, and then just shoot back with the heat wave from there, where I'm ideally gonna take less damage and just get knocked around less. So I get slapped around a lot less. Gonna try and just clear this side out for myself again. Okay, I got this side kind of cleared out. Still all that to clear too. Yeah, how many Skelemen are still alive? I probably don't even want to know how many are still running amok. Right, so I still have a helmet somehow. Somehow I still have a helmet on. Probably won't last much longer at this rate. Won't have it for too much longer, I don't think. Alright, we got the next wave already. Alright, heat wave, just shoot them down. One of my few options is kind of shoot them from a distance. Yeah, with that many projectiles barraging me and all that knockback, I'm not getting close. I can't get close with that many projectiles getting shot at me. It's not reasonable to expect to get close. So just shoot them down with the heat wave. Slowly wear them down with this. Something else is shooting at me, yep. Just trying to see from where, though. Nice hit. Speed boost helped. Okay, I wanted to hit the Skelly man, obviously. Hit the wrong guy. Well, I found Skeletron. Have to make sure he doesn't just kill me, obviously. Gonna make sure Skeletron isn't like a threat, so gonna try and keep him in the corner and then just pick off the rest of the army that's still alive. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of the Skelemen, primarily. Just so, like, I stop having projectiles shot at me. Then I'll be able to focus on Skeletron much easier, while just staying as far away from him as possible. Oh boy. Alright, Kaiju Staff, please. Yeah, I'm trying to get the Skeletron, but can't exactly get to him very easily. These guys are getting in the way still. Okay, now I gotta find Skeletron, and just focus on him. Yeah, that's him. Now you need to just focus on him at this point. No. Please don't come from behind and push me to Skeletron. Please don't do that. I got a stupid turtle. Just trying to get rid of the turtle at this point. Probably shouldn't be getting this close. I don't even know why I'm getting this close to him. Probably could survive a hit, but... What, am I crazy? Trying to kill this guy with a sword? What, am I crazy? Yeah, I must be crazy. Yeah, I must be nuts. Yeah, but if I keep on doing this and just... Oh, shit! Yeah, I must be crazy for even trying to just get up close to him. Did you just see how much health came off? That was half my health bar. Yeah, I must be crazy for trying to get up that close. Well, he didn't kill me. If he would have hit me a second time in a row, that probably would have been lethal. Oh, Skeletal Sword. Long time no see. We've been reunited, but you're not quite as worth it anymore. But sadly, you're not what you you're not what you used to be. You are not what you once were. You are now not that special anymore. So yep, that's Skeletron in a nutshell for you. Stay away from him because if you don't and he hits you, yeah, that could be like legit like deadly if he hits you. I had like most of my heart shield from the Kaiju Staff up as well, and I had like almost a full health bar, so I had like nearly 20 hearts or some shit. I probably had to have at least like 20-ish hearts, maybe 19, and he knocked me down to like 8 or something, so... That was at least like 10 hearts just gone in one shot, and I have like fairly good armor too. Prot 3, Prot 4, Prot 4, Prot 4. And I have like very good armor, like all tier 3 armor. About as good as your armor sets are gonna get in this mod for the most part. And like, he could have killed me in 2 hits still. Like, yeah. Just like a word of advice to anyone wanting to do this themselves, like just don't get close to Skeletron. You don't need to just give yourself a heart attack if he hits you like that. So yep, we did beat the Skeletal Army, so now I'm just gonna go back home and end the stream. Now I'm just gonna get my guy back to his base. So yep, that's possible. So that's just how hard Skeletron can hit. Yep, I took a hit from Skeletron, survived it. I probably don't want to do that again. I mean, worst case scenario, maybe if he spawns right next to me and hits me, like during a future, like, Skeletal Army wave, or future fight, I can just simply blast him back with Concussion Staff, and then, like, I should be able to easily avoid getting hit again. I mean, like, it's only really that bad if he hits me twice and I haven't had, like, time to heal up from the first hit. Like, then he could just kill me. So yeah, like, this is, like, just about as good as my armor's gonna get, and Skeletron can 2-hit me. Yeah, now I've definitely seen it firsthand just how powerful he can be. So when I said he hits harder than Crore, I literally wasn't kidding. I was not fucking around when I said he can hit harder than Crore. It's like he doesn't give you slowness or pull you towards him or anything, but still. You'd really have to be crazy to just get up close to him with a sword. With a Great Blade, it's a lot safer, but even safer still, just kill him with a ranged weapon like a gun that just lets you walk around, strafe around him, and just auto-fire, walk around, shoot him until he dies. Even better yet, just go at him with a gun. Or like a bow with like a high level of punch that can just keep him in a corner so he can't ever get to you. I mean, with a gun, you can just run around and fire it all day till he dies. That or until you run out of ammo. I didn't even come close to running out during that fight. Yeah, you're much better off just killing Skeletron from a distance. Simply due to the fact that like a couple hits from him will just kill most players. That's supposed to be like a tier 1 boss. Yet he has like the highest damage output of anything in the mod. He even surpasses Kror, who, funnily enough, is also a tier 1 boss. Yet he can hit extremely hard too. Okay. Please jump. I guess I was pressing the wrong button to actually jump. Oh! Okay. 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 Just trying to imagine, like, how that fight could have gone differently. I could have easily just died to Skeletron. Because I got too close to him and I really shouldn't have. I mean, I knew I was going to be able to survive at least one hit. But it does not look like I can survive 2 Skeletron hits in a row. Even with the Caillou Staff hearts up, I'd have, like, roughly 20.5 hearts. But I think Skeletron would still be able to kill me through that in 2 hits. Yeah, just the more you know. Okay, I got that statue. Remember to pick that up. I mean, if there's any boss statue I'd prefer to not forget, would be like a Skeletal Army boss statue, because those fights are actually going to take time. And resources, and just good ahead-of-time preparation. So you don't just end up either dying or wasting a bunch of your resources. Like, that's a statue I don't want to forget to pick up. Before fighting Skeletron. Yeah, in this mod you don't have that option. Yeah, I guess it's just like coincidence they have like the exact same name. I mean, Skeletron, I don't think he has an attack that takes out like half your health in one shot in Terraria. No, he actually has an attack that takes out all your health in one shot if you simply don't kill him fast enough, if the fight goes on into daytime. Like, if morning comes, then he just kills you in one hit, if he hits you. And I think plus on top of that, he gains like a lot of defense. Yeah, never mind, he can one-shot you, Skeletron. That is if you're too slow to actually fight him. So, if you actually didn't see that earlier, I got hit by Skeletron once, lost about 11 to 12 hearts, so 2 hits from that and I actually die. Yep, capable of taking me down in 2 hits, and yes, I got my old skeletal sword back too. Looks a bit different, but feels a lot more different than just looking different. I mean, looking different is one thing, but doesn't exactly resemble the old skeletal sword anymore. Like, it's really not worth using anymore. Yeah, due to the fact that you have to go through the whole Skeletal Army fight to maybe get this as a drop. Yeah, safe to say that's become sort of a mediocre item now, the Skeletal Sword. Used to be, like, what I would consider to be the best sword in the mod, when it had 23 attack damage. Now it's no longer the case. Now it's not, like, super overpowered anymore. But the fight to get to that sword still isn't much easier. Still about the same difficulty, give or take. Yet the sword is just not at all worth the effort anymore. Yeah, by the time you're gonna feel confident with fighting the skeletal army, yeah, by the time you feel confident and ready to fight them, you'll just have a better sword by then. For example, like this one, you'll have something better. Yeah, by the time you can maybe even get close to killing Skeletron, you'll just have a much better sword. See, a skeletal sword just kind of like in the why would you use it territory now. I mean, the sword itself is okay for tier 1, it's just like the boss is too hard to justify chasing after it. Well, given like you have just exclusively tier 1 equipment, or you're just getting into that part of the game early. Like it's just too much for something like so early on. It would be too much for someone just like getting into the mod to handle. Didn't even have to go use these extra stacks of runes. I mean, I had them, but I didn't have to use them. I think I'm probably gonna clip me taking that Skeletron hit because, yeah. I was expecting a lot of damage, but still, holy shit. He can 2-hit me. I'm pretty sure I took extra damage since I'm playing on hard difficulty, but still, like... Skeletron can probably easily 2-shot most players. And yeah, I said earlier, this is honestly kind of fitting that he can do so, because... Honestly, the whole skeletal army fight feels a lot like the fight caves from RuneScape, and like the final thing you fight in fight caves can also very easily 2-shot most players as well. Yeah, it's his Tog Jad. Okay, I have like the RuneScape 3 version of Tistok Jad. I'm gonna get the old school version of it since I know the mechanics of older versions of RuneScape way better than the RS3. Since I understand older versions of RS more than like newer ones. So yeah, like for context in RuneScape, your max health is typically 99, assuming you've maxed out your hit point skill. There are a few methods that actually boost beyond your maximum hit points. I think you can boost into like something like the 110s with Sour Dome and Bruiser Anglerfish. Yeah, but Jad's max hit is a 97. So even with like max health, even with like being able to boost above your max health, he can 2-shot you. Yeah, and unlike Skeletron, like Jad attacks with like 3 different sides of the combat triangle, so he can attack with melee, ranged, and magic. And players are constantly forced to just switch between 2 protection prayers to just nullify all the damage. Like if they fuck up once or twice in succession, like that can just outright kill them and end their whole fight cave run. Yeah, mess up like 2 prayer switches in a row and you could just end up dying pretty easily. Yeah, at least with Skeletron, he can only attack with melee, so just stay away from him and he really can't do anything. Just run around, shoot him with a gun, and he's basically not going to do a thing. Yeah, I really do wonder if Zolova was inspired by fight caves with that Skeletal Army fight. Likely so. I mean, come on, we even have a skill in this mod where you make runes for fuck's sake. There's even the whole skill around making runes. and one where you hunt like specific enemies. And eventually there's just like more and more enemies you need like higher hunter level to actually kill. It's not called Hunter in RuneScape, it's called Slayer. Premise is very similar, except you're talking to Slayer masters who tell you what to kill, and if you kill what they tell you what to kill and you're on task, you're getting Slayer experience. Whereas in this mod, it's literally just a small subset of enemies that you can kill to get Hunter experience. And eventually, like just like the Slayer skill, you move on to killing enemies that you could not otherwise have killed with like too low a Hunter slash Slayer level. Yes, I'm perfectly fine with ending the stream for tonight. Yep, Skeletron, one beefy boy hits really hard. I'm probably gonna clip that.